Welcome on, people. It's Mr. back again with a special show. Can we call it a special show? Whatever show you want to call it these days. Hello, everyone. As you know, Forest have been inducted 4 points, and there's lots to talk about. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment in the comment section, people. How are you feeling? Are you happy? Are you sad? Lots to talk about. Right, let's get the panel in. Who should start with? I've got to start with my old friend, my old Todger, Dylan Astle. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. This guy's been giving me a stick and much, so he's been crying that he's not been on the show, so I got him on today. He's been on the buses, so now he's back. Next up, we've got the man himself, Raz. How you doing, Raz?
Yeah, good, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you all right? Are you okay?
I am, yes. Apart from, the football side of things, it's all good.
So Rad's okay. Make sure I don't think people subscribe to him, so if you haven't, just subscribe to it if you can.
Yes.
Have you done a video yet, Rad, regarding this subject?
I'm going to get one out, yes. That's the
Right,
video.
a bit. So people, get Rad. If you have Rad's dad, tell him to do some work. He's slacking on YouTube. So that's it. We've got the Molo MA Law Aspiring KC. New name. So people, he's got all the documents. Get the documents out, Molo. He's got them all. He's read every single bit. So we've got KC Molo to get if people don't understand all the jargon. I don't understand it. He's here. So people, come watch the show because we've got this guy to talk about in detail how it is. And we've got a new guy that's been on the channel. The man himself, Aaron, is all the way from Ireland. Into Aaron.
It's Aaron, Ben, and thanks for having me on the show. Good to be on finally.
Yeah, so the legend yourself, please show some love to Aaron. And like I said, people, get the comments in now. Let's go through the comments as well, people. We always do. Paul, hope you're well. I think we should get on with it on the field now. Yeah, we should do. Data Shred, all the way from Denmark. Hope you're well, my friend. Finally, we know now we can press on. The season's going. The campaign has to stop and go. Now the break and the verdict. Looking forward. Up for the Luton, and we'll be fine. Another guy, we're out in Jersey. Hi from Jersey, Dore. I mean, it's time to start winning football games. Otherwise, looks really in February at night at Stoke. Chris, are you trying to piss me off? Why would you mention that word? You know how I feel about Stoke. I thought we were mates. Come on, man. You know better than that, Chris. I hate Stoke. We've got the legend himself, right? Even though now we can move forward and concentrate on the Prem. Come on, you Reds. Mark, if you're out, a bunch of weak waste tossers in the Premier League. Yes, that's how we feel, Mark. That's how we feel. Mark, Grimy, we have to take it. We have to take it. Davey, hi Ben, Premier League. Oh, Joe wants to take 8 of us. Hi, panel 5. Well, you're looking lads. Yes, Davey. Who's the best looking lad? I think it's me. I'm taking this. Colin, I am sad. Don't be sad, Colin. Don't be sad. We'll do it. We will do it. Who else will look for this one? Pirates, Petty Irish, I hope you're well, my friend. Even though it could be worse, even faster as it all is. It's in own hands now to go and get on with W's. Yeah, 100%. Eve, happy doing Eve. Even Mr. Dore today, Raj, Aaron, I hope you're all well. I'm just doing a workout while watching and listening. Yes, do a workout, Eve. Might you feel better. Ricky, hope you're well, my friend. If we get deduction 6, if you had deduction 6 3 10 points, it would have been game over. But I think we might have chances to survive. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully as well. I'm happy about it. That's why I've got the panel on to talk about today's show. Another one, James. Even though does everyone know if we're going to appeal the decision? I think the KC man will talk about it as well. What's it? 4 points who gives a effing whereas we stay, you know. That could be a new chant, couldn't it? That could be a new chant on a away day or at home as well. Right. Who should start with, boys? Who should start with? Should we start with KC, Dylan, Rads, or Aaron? Let's start with the newbie. We'll start with the newbie, Aaron. Let's get him. How are you feeling, Aaron, about all this 4 point deduction?
Oh, I mean, it's obviously not ideal. Like, you wouldn't want any points deducted, but lots of people say it could be worse. But it definitely could have been better anyway. Still recovering from Paddy's Day, and thought I'd try and find a 4-leaf clover. Instead, we find a 4-point deduction.
Have you still got? Have you still got a headache?
Oh no, I recovered earlier, but I have another headache today with the deductions, so it wasn't ideal. But yeah, we're all feeling the same thing. Just we're in the bottom 3 now because of it. We do have obviously the opportunity to appeal it, and hopefully we get some points back from it, the way Everton did, and it should. I'm hoping it's a wake-up call to the realization that we've kind of been sleepwalking into a relegation battle the past few months without really realizing the situation that we're in. So kind of hoping this is a silver lining decision that from today and from the past few days with the Luton game, it's making us realize we're actually in a relegation battle. We need to wake up, we need to step up in order to stay up. And there's expecting a big reaction response the way Everton did when they had the 10-point deduction. So not ideal news, but it's how we respond to it. And as you saw from a lot of the comments coming in, we need to start winning games and getting results. We're down there because, like, take Luton, we've dropped 4 points home and away against Luton. If that hadn't happened, we wouldn't be where we are. If we'd won at the weekend, we'd still be outside the bottom 3. So there's lots of examples throughout the season where we've kind of lost these points before the deduction. So it's up to us now to make it up in the next 9 games. And a lot of them are winnable games. They won't be easy, but I think it comes down to the players and coaches' mentality. Like, we all have to get together as a club and just say, look, we're in this situation. We have to dig our way out of it. That's my thoughts on it. Just we have to dig our way out with results. There's no other way to go about it other than to take Crystal Palace the next game in a fortnight and go from there.
Who's going next? Muller, we'll go you last because he's got a paragraph and he could. I don't understand solicitors or nonsense, and he does. That's why he's got the glasses on. I don't think
I can read. Try and look clever.
He tried to be clever. Who's going next? Rads, do you understand all this nonsense, all this jargon?
I mean, it's all a bit of a mess, really. But I think the main thing we can take from it is it could have obviously been a lot worse. I think we all thought it could have been maybe 6. Some of us were saying 10 when it first broke ages ago now. So to walk away with just 4 points, it's obviously not ideal in any way, but it could have been a lot worse. So I agree with what everyone's saying. Really, we just need to take matters into our own hands now onto the pitch and just put it right, because it's not like it's just off the field where we've been making mistakes. It's on the field as well. Our form all season's not really been good enough, but of late, we've lost a lot of games. We dropped some crucial points the other day at Luton, which, of course, it just happens to be the team that have now gone above us. So it's their own fault that we're here, but we now need to just get back on it now and really get that spirit going again. So I think that's been a real issue, really, that togetherness has not really been as strong. And that's another subject, really. But we just need to stick together now and just get going on the pitch again, because that's what matters. But with the points deduction, it's not ideal, but I'm just glad that we've got it out of the way, to be honest, and we can just play some football again. It's what's more important.
I like the positivity from Raz. I'm loving it. I wish I could be like Raz, but I'm not. I'm just depressed, football depressed. But well done, Raz, for that. You chipped it a little bit. Dylan, how are you feeling, bud?
Well, like you say, everyone said it could be worse.
I've been thrown in the bus. It's been negative as well, people. So if you can, get that, Dylan. I've had enough of you, Dylan.
Why have I been negative?
You've been negative. In the chat, he likes to be negative. And now I'm calling you out, Dylan. He's been negative. So people in the chat.
No, the only reason I've been negative is because of this point deduction thing, because you didn't know what it was going to be. It could have been 8, could have been 10. If you read, like Marlo will probably show you in a bit, but I've read some of it, and the Premier League wanted 8 points, and then they wanted 6, and then it's just mental. But we got what we got, and it's broken down. Do you know what I mean? We shouldn't be in this situation, but we are. Do you know what I mean? I'll take 4 if obviously that's what we've got. Take 4. Me personally, I wouldn't appeal it. What's the point? I think the only reason they appeal it is to try and piss the Premier League off more than no, because this could get dragged out till after the season. Do you know what I mean? And some experts I've been listening to, they said they could just be appealing for 1 point. That's all it could be. Do you know what I mean? So is it worth it? Shall we just say, do you know what? Good thing about Forest is they've admitted it straight away. That's why they got such a lenient point. They've admitted it. We broke the rules. Hands up. Simple as. Let's just get on with it now. We've got 9 games to go, 27 points to still play for. It's doable. Let's just get on with it.
100%, 100%. Right, people, we've got Casey Motlow. Like, and if you don't understand all that you're not going to say, I'm going to put him in the big screen, but it has to get on the big screen. If we get him on the big screen, like, so
That's
people,
pressure, like your wrinkles.
this is pressure. So, it's done them. Is it the main bits that you've done, Motlow, that we spoke about?
Yeah, well, what it was.
Like, okay, people, listen, watch and learn and listen.
Right,
Go
firstly, it's, I think you touched on it there, Dylan, about the appeal. Is the appeal worth it? And it's a tricky one because you're right, we're basically appealing for 1 point. And if we go down by 1 point and it saves us, then you could argue it was worth it. There's 2 things to that. Firstly, any appeal is very likely to take place after the end of the season. So if we look like we're safe, we could withdraw that appeal at any time. However, the 2 points, when you said the Premier League wanted 8, what they actually said was 8 would be the appropriate amount with 2 off for our kind of good behaviour, if you like. And that 2 off would go out the window if we start causing grief. Because the reason we got 2 off was basically because we admitted what we'd done was, in error to start with. And that's another thing altogether about how that came about. And secondly, we completely cooperated, did things that we didn't actually have to do. People flew in from presumably Greece to give things to the Premier League, to go on various things. Everything was handled. We gave them their end-of-year accounts in December to show what direction we're moving in. So the 2 points back is the bonus. What's really galling, though, is throughout our kind of representation, the guy that represented is obviously Mr. Professional and all this, and I'd love to be him one day if you like, earning £1,000 an hour, whatever. But every time we presented a case for mitigation, it was rejected completely based on Sheffield Wednesday's case, Reading's case, other AFL cases that we kind of did, criminal cases as well that were referred to. Whereas whenever the Premier League presented a precedent, a previous case, it was accepted to take out our mitigation. It was a very one-sided result. It's only 53 pages long, which, believe it or not, for a case being presented is actually really short. I've spent hours and hours reading through cases 5 times.
This is why I've got him. I don't understand all this jargon.
I know, but basically, the other problem we've got if we did appeal is 2 things would happen, I think. Very likely we'd get more points deducted, potentially. And secondly, all of the stuff that's been referred to by the commission, which is kind of like the court that we went to, they've referred to the Everton appeal, not just the original Everton case. People need to be very careful because Everton had their points reduced and they've referred to the Everton appeal, mostly when it suits. And the things that were mitigating circumstances, the Brennan Johnson situation, which was similar to what Sheffield Wednesday did, they dismissed out of hand because it was 2 months and not 2 weeks. What was the other thing? My brain's gone.
Always.
The fact that we said there's no sporting advantage, they've said the fact that he played 3 games, because like we said, there's no sporting advantage. Christ, if they watch the games, I love Brennan Johnson, but he had shockers those 3 games, didn't he? Missed sitter against Arsenal. Anyway, they said the fact that he played was a sporting advantage, and because he played, it put his price up. I'm like, whatever. But they rejected that out of hand because we said there was no sporting advantage to what we did because obviously last season's irrelevant. They also, in parts, which they're not supposed to do really, they basically tell us how to conduct our business, that we should have sold him in January. And then there's one particular reason they rejected the Brennan Johnson argument in particular, and I'll shut up in a minute because it's going to be a bit boring in the end, is because we couldn't sell him at the start of the transfer window early on, and we said it was difficult to do. But the Premier League, their representatives said it was impossible to sell a player in the first league, which is clearly untrue. And our KC asked for that to be rejected completely as an basically an untrue statement, but and it wasn't rejected. So everything, when you read it through, the Premier League were very aggressive against us, and everything happened to Everton, even though it was accepted that we were far better, more cooperative than Everton, and way more cooperative, which I'll get to in a second, which is massive when you actually unpick it. They then used the Everton case to hammer us. Now, in fairness, we were looking for 0 points and a suspended sentence using particularly the Sheffield Wednesday case and the Reading cases as evidence, which was completely rejected. But Everton should have been punished last season. If you read our report, you realise that they completely delayed it. They did everything they could to make it go beyond the season by the sound of it. They did miss. Well, the wording's been changed. It's important in legal terms. They misled the original thing, but in actual fact, it was changed. They said they didn't mislead the original thing. What they did was send incorrect information accidentally. Okay. Look at how you won. I mean, there's so much to this. It's intriguing when you read it if you're a dullard like me.
Any main parts of that still that's read?
Yeah, there's what? Say that again. Sorry.
Any main parts that is interesting to read? So
it's amazing, really. So, everything we put in. So, Forest will be given credit for one part of the mitigation, which was the fact that we cooperated and exhibited it. All other things put forward are to be rejected, completely rejected. So everything else was pointless. They've still got to decide who pays for it all. It's probably going to cost north of $1 million, I'd have thought. And then the final conclusion at the end. I mean, I genuinely don't think it's worth what you call it. They keep talking about sporting advantage and how Forest gained a sporting advantage. It's interesting as well. Final bit, the whole Brennan Johnson situation. Obviously, we needed that extra money one way and another, and they quoted Ventros as saying a few £1 million would not.
Wait, Molo, 1 minute, Molo. Wait. Yeah. If no one knows who this guy, what was his name again?
Ventros.
If no one knew that's that little weasel, Yanis. Ooh. Sorry, I don't do that.
Yanis Ventros. There we go.
He's a weasel to me. He's a weasel.
He said something at the commission that was then thrown back at us because we were holding out for 12.5 million extra. In effect, he was quoted as saying, "This is a quote direct, so please don't sue me. A few £1 million would not make it matter to a business millions." So, I mean, the whole thing does stink. I feel we've been poorly treated, but they had no choice because of the Everton situation. If we hadn't have cooperated, if we'd have fought it, we could have made it go beyond the season's end and be dealt with next season like Everton did. But then it would have been 6 points and no points off. And if you get a chance to read it, anybody, if you really want to, it does help explain a lot of the Everton situation more clearly as well. Because the other thing is Everton lost more money than us, but what they did it as a percentage of what we're allowed to lose. So the Premier League, their representation was saying Forest lost 77% more than Everton, which is not entirely true. It's true if you're doing it proportionally, and they keep talking about the integrity of the competition, and yet, as we all know, there is no integrity because we're trying to compete with clubs that are allowed to lose a lot more, spend a lot more money. That's what it comes down to. So that's another question, admittedly. But my personal view, with my sort of bit of knowledge, is I don't think it's worth the appeal unless we feel like, and this is I'll let you boys discuss this because my bit's here, unless we feel we're still going to be within a point of Luton, which I would argue we've got Palace next. We've got to go all out not to lose that game, because if we don't lose that game, we're very likely out of the relegation thing, win or draw. And this is what you boys were discussing, I don't feel I've seen that much evidence all the way back to August, really, that we're going to win loads of games. However, can we be 1 point better than Luton is a different question. Someone's going to stay up on about 27, 28 points this year by the looks of it. It's that poor a league. So there we go. I personally think it was biased in favour of the Premier League's representation and against ours. Our guy, I forgot his name now, Nico, what his name was.
Nico, what's his name? People in the chat, what's his name? What's his name? Someone tell about Dylan. Or Aaron will know. Aaron, what's his name?
He's got it.
What's his name? Who?
Just checking.
What's his name?
Hard when you're not in the office.
Nick Morocco. Is it Morocco?
That's it, yeah. So his representation was pretty good, to be fair, and it made total sense. But
he's the best. He's the best in the business. He is.
I debate that at the moment.
No, he is. No, he is.
He's very niche. At the moment, he's the best in the business, but I think
Nick DeMarco. That's the one.
Nick DeMarco.
It's a very niche thing.
That's the one. Well done, Nick.
And if he was the best in the business, he was clutching at straws a little bit with one or two cases because he was comparing things. It was right and proper to compare to the Sheffield Wednesday and Reading case in particular. He pulled out a couple of criminal cases, and he said that we should get 30% off anything they come up with because we pleaded guilty in effect straight away. Well, we weren't pleading in a criminal case, which is completely different anyway. But that's that's by the by. Who am I to question a guy like that who's earning £1,000 an hour or whatever? But yeah, I think it wasn't a fairly worded commission, if you like, but I do feel when you read the whole thing, it's probably, and I hate saying this as a Forest supporter, probably not far off being a reasonably fair outcome. I think 3 points was the right and proper one when I've read it through. They added on 1 point, but they added on 3 and then took 2 off, didn't they? But I think 3 points would have been the right and proper way to go. And then maybe 2 suspended. Plus, they haven't asked for a business plan. They haven't asked for anything going forward. We're all, I mean, don't want to be a doom monger, but we're going to have to sell more than we buy over the next 12 months as well to make it not happen again next year. Which brings me to the final thing. What might also save us, I don't want to swear here, I'm trying to think. Everton are fudged. Everton have got aggravating factors for their next one because they've got previous, and it's almost like it's quite aggressive towards us, but Everton are referenced a lot through it, and it's almost like they're getting ready to smash Everton because of aggravating factors that they've already had some. The aggravating factor is now going to be they're going to have done it again. And we tried to defend that we've got a good past history and all that. So I would be, and I don't think it should happen, and not just to save us. It's completely wrong. It's being decided off the pitch. If I was an Everton supporter, I would be very, very worried. Sky Sports only pick what they want out of it and talk about it. And the guy on Sky Sports that's brilliant. He's not a law person. He's just flicked through it. But obviously they've got, what's his name, who is a law person who's picked through it. And I would be very worried if I was an Everton supporter. I think they're going to get at least another 6 points.
Quick question. This is from Katie. Quick from her. Do we know what Everton are over? I don't know what.
We don't know how much, but it's not going to matter.
Their last case was 19 million, wasn't it? 19 and a half.
19 million. It was 19 million last time officially, but the problem
and ours was 35.
The problem they've had is quite understandably, Everton have, I've got to phrase this carefully in case Everton board got hold of it. Everton's accounting seems to put everything on their new stadium,
Yeah, it's a new stadium. That's what the problem is.
If they buy a bag of grass seed, figuratively speaking, not for real, then they put it down as buying it for the new stadium or whatever. And
but don't the stadium doesn't go.
No, it doesn't. But even I'm not saying they've done this. You couldn't go out and buy a player and say it's for the stadium, could you? You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at without saying. I'm not for a minute suggesting Everton have done anything illegal, but there's a lot of staff costs attached to the stadium that are tenuous, shall we say.
I was going to comment as well. Well, this is from Gary, who's a member to the channel. If you do want to be a member to the channel, please do. And please, any super chats to help the channel, please do. Make sure everyone subscribe to Raz as well. Raz, will with your video. We're waiting because he takes the mic. But please do hit the like button if you can as well. Again, from Gary, is in the rules, if we appeal, they cannot add more points on. Was that
yeah, they can, absolutely.
That's the problem, isn't it?
This is the appeal panel have the power to outrank what's gone before. And that's why I'm sure we won't appeal, because the wording of what's gone before isn't great. And if another appeal panel takes that thing, it could be worse. Because we got 2 points off for mitigating circumstances, but that was purely because we pleaded guilty and we cooperated. All the other mitigating circumstances have been dismissed out of hand. If another appeal panel goes with that, they'll say, well, you pleaded guilty, now you're appealing, we'll give those 2 points back on. They can. I personally wouldn't appeal. Wait,
I've done a poll on should we appeal. So 21 said 38% says yes, 64 says no. So in the chat, have you put should we appeal, yes or no?
I think we will appeal, and if we stay up or look like we stay, we'll withdraw the appeal. Because if it doesn't actually go to the appeal, so if we don't walk through the door of that appeal, they can't take any more points.
Okay.
But if that appeal is taking place after the end of the season and we go down by 1 point, we might as well throw the Hail Mary, haven't we?
Exactly. Dylan, should we appeal? Yes or no?
No. Me personally, no. What's the point? What's the point? You're playing with fire now, because the Premier League are going to just. What's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? Like Marlo says, you could go down by 1 point or stay up by 1 point. We could stay up by 2 points and then go to an appeal, and then they'll say, no, we're adding them 2 points on. Oh, but by goal difference, you've gone down.
That won't happen, though, because if we stay up by 2 points, we'd withdraw the appeal.
That's the point, yeah.
So as long as we don't walk through the door of that appeal, then this stands as legally binding anyway.
Raz, should we appeal? Yes or no?
No. I wouldn't.
That's quick. Let's hear Raz. Why can't people leave you at Raz? Just be quick. And don't be like Dylan, just be long and make a long thing about it. Sorry, Dylan. Aaron, yes, should we appeal? Yes or no?
I think the club statement has already said that we are intending to appeal. After Everton got points back, I think that's the reason why it makes sense to go for it. But we can pretty much assume this points deduction is here to stay, and we are now where we are. And as you say, the main thing is we know what we have to do now with this. So we should just take it as this is the 4 point deduction and go from there. I'm not expecting it any more points off. As you say, some could be added on, but we know what we have to do. We're in the bottom 3 right now as it stands after that deduction. So we have work to do. So it's focusing on the pitch now and trying to overcome what's happened off the pitch.
This is for Barry Irish. I think we should send Mullet in there for appeal, and we'll get exposed. Mr. Marnakis, get Mullet in. He'll do it for you. Right. So the question is, right, and I had a good discussion with Dave on the way back from the Luton game. I'll get everyone's opinion. Who's to blame for this? Do you think Mr. Marnakis is blame like he's always done for it? He's pumped in so much money for the club. But the blame, is it? Do you think everyone should target Marnakis for this or not? That's you, Dylan. Do you think he should get the blame for this? Because he's the one who employs these people. Because let's keep it real. If everyone saw the Nick Randall interview, and he did say, we will not break the rules. And he basically...
So question. I'm not saying this is true or what. I'm just putting it out there. Is he the chairman now?
But he lied.
No, but is he the chairman now? I'm not saying it, but at the end of the day, I don't blame Marnakis. Do you know what I mean? That man has put more money into it.
I'm not saying that. He pumped in so much money for the club, and we salute him for that. We salute him for that. But
what?
He puts these people into.
Yeah, but you don't have a business, and they get a finance director, to look after your finance, and then pay him probably 200 grand a year or something like that, but keep looking over his shoulder to make sure he's right. Do you know what I mean? You employ that person for that position because they qualify for it. Do you know what I mean?
You're right, and that's another thing that comes out of that report.
Oh, here comes the report again, Molo again, people.
It's the money side. We're 12.5 million short on the merit award money because all our projections were based on finishing 12th. We're 9.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The EFL have stuffed us a little bit because we're 9.7 million short on the COVID add-back money, which was all submitted to the EFL, and nobody said it was a problem until way later. So suddenly we had another nearly 10 million go missing. And then the surprise of promotion, of course, promotion cost us 20.92 million, albeit a lot of that was bonuses. So should have just held back the bonuses. Oh, they did that. Yeah. So I think it's not. There's so many people that are to blame, and you could argue the single biggest blame is the players. They finished 6th.
But this is my argument is, right, yes, we've all got to accept we broke the rules. Simple as. We can't argue the fact, right?
We broke the rules. It's simple.
But listen, right, you telling me last January comes around, someone is not sat in an office with a massive spreadsheet knowing what's going in, and someone's turned around to that head person who sorts the finance out and going, I think we need to be careful. We're going to be about 30 odd million over. Do you know what I mean? Someone along the line has just turned around and gone, well, don't worry, we'll chance it. Do you know what I mean? So
if we didn't sign Felipe and Navas, we'd be having this discussion in the Championship almost bankrupt. So that it was a risk thingy, a risk they took to stay up. And there's so much more to it as well financially.
But the thing is, if you look at it in the report as well, with about, what is it? We're all saying it's Brennan Johnson.
So who's to blame? Come on.
So wait, hold on. Let me just say this. Right, with the player A, but we know who all that is, right? Atletico Madrid came in before the cut-off date and offered 42 million? Yeah?
50 million.
So they rejected it. But the Premier League turned around and said that this is what I've heard, or what I read, is the Premier League turned around and said, if you would have accepted that deal, it didn't matter if that deal had gone over the time because of Atletico trying to get the money together, we would have accepted that as your explanation in this now. But because you rejected it and went somewhere else and further, that's why they're not accepting it.
That's not quite what they said. What they said was because Atletico said it was subject to them selling a player, which
that was it.
And what the commission, it's not their place to say this really, but what they tried to say was, if we'd have accepted that conditional bid, and then it had gone through after the date, then we could have put that down as a near miss or not a very, like Sheffield Wednesday did to get their suspended sentence. But as Forest pointed out, if they accepted that as a conditional offer, it's not like a house. Then that's already the start of a contract at that point, and we couldn't have then sold him anywhere else. That was Forest's argument, because if we agreed to sell him who did Atletico then go on to sell? I honestly don't know, because I don't really follow European football. Because I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. I don't think it did.
It never would have happened, and we would have still had Johnson, and we wouldn't have had the 40 odd million. If you see what I mean, which would have been nice to have had Johnson still, but there's the thing. Sorry, I keep jumping in like that. I know what you're saying.
Can you see?
No, that's the point. That's the point. Because obviously, I've heard stuff and I've heard it, and do you know what I mean? I'm saying it, and you're like obviously saying, well, it is like that, but it's not like that. Do you know what I mean? It makes it clearer to everyone else.
So
me personally,
I'll give you 5,000 quid if I win the lottery next week. Do you know what I mean?
Cheers, mate.
They hadn't even got a player to sell. They hadn't even got a deal in the pipeline.
Russ, what do you think, Russ, of all this?
As well.
Yeah, Russ, what do you think of all this? What about these two? Come on, get out of it. You've been waiting.
I'm not going to comment on these two.
This is why he annoys me as a YouTuber. He tries to, guys, come on, get out there, get out.
On Mollo and Dylan's opinions, or on Nottingham Forest?
on their opinions. Go on, and then we'll get Aaron next.
Well, no, I agree. Yeah.
Don't agree with him. Don't agree with him. Just say something sarcastically.
Can't argue with the law.
I literally can't argue with the law. No.
Actually, do you genuinely believe? And this is a bit controversial. Do you because we've got a good relationship with Atletico over the last couple of years, haven't we? Do you genuinely believe there was a genuine offer, or could that have been manufactured for the commission as well, potentially?
People in the chat, what do you think? Get this in. What do you? I don't know. What?
Well, that's like asking if someone walked on the moon.
Let's get Aaron. Aaron, do you think it's true?
Hard to know, because there was so much rumor circulating around Brennan Johnson this summer after we stayed up last season, and obviously heard about Atletico and Brentford, and obviously it ended up going to Spurs in the end. But
and Man City are mentioned in the commission report as well.
Wow.
There
we are.
What, yes or no? What am I? Yes. Oh, didn't it?
Yeah, they mentioned Man City as having been interested in the report.
Oh, okay.
Where would he play for them?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No striker. You take Holland's place. Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, what do you believe? What do you believe it?
Well, if City were interested, I just only hope they put a higher offer in, which they didn't. So be in this situation, but it's hard to say. Just as you say, just it kind of leans in over where the transfer window is, and we were obviously holding out for the best deal possible, but the financial deadline doesn't match the transfer deadline, and so that's kind of, we wanted to be selling our top products for best value, and as you mentioned there, had we sold them for that or had the agreement in place, perhaps we wouldn't be in this situation, but we got more money in the end. The issue was that we breached the financial fair play regulations, and that's kind of the unfortunate side of it. But I do believe we've shown proof or evidence that we've developed ourselves since then, that we've, as you say, we've admitted it, we've come forward, we've been very cooperative, we've obviously been a bit more conscious about environment, sustainability, doctorates and stuff. So I think we've shown the Premier League that we have made steps to rectify, because I think the first season, we asked earlier who's to blame. I just think it's a lack of joint thinking.
This is what Mark says. This is on Marinakis. I'm just saying. Aaron, do you think this is on Marinakis? Yes or no?
No, I don't think it's on him solely. I think it's on the people working around him, because there's a lot of redundant people working at the club. Like, for example,
did I say that? Disagree with me.
Yeah, like, for example, we went through a few different sporting directors last season. The head of recruitment was removed. We've had players like Shelby and my fellow countryman Harry Arthur, who's just there on the books doing nothing but eating money. And you're looking.
Aaron, listen. Can I say something? Right.
Sure.
This is your debut. This is your debut on this channel. How dare you mention that guy on this channel? This is your debut, Aaron. Come on, Aaron. This is your debut. People in the chat. I do apologise on behalf of Aaron. Come on, Aaron.
He's a Forest legend, though.
Oh yeah, but you got to admit he's got the best agent in the world.
No, he has got the best agent in the world. But yeah, Aaron. Sorry, Aaron. Carry on.
I was just using kind of redundant people, like, for example, our set piece coach at the moment. Like, I'm not seeing.
You can't blame him.
No, but I mean, like Zaka Jones is taking a lot of signings that haven't really fulfilled their potential, or we've spent a lot of money on people and they've come and they've gone, and obviously they've gone on.
That's my luck. Wait, who falls that then? On that, of all the players.
So I think your man Sangrea, a record signing, highly rated, but I don't think he's delivered anything.
He's not in the same. He's not in the accounting period though.
Ah, okay.
No,
Yeah, he's not relevant. He's not relevant on that.
Right.
Right, can I just say something, right? This
Go
is
on,
what I
Dylan.
want to say.
Here
Right.
we go.
Let's go back to when we got promoted. And Maranaki stood on the council house steps and he says, we are going to compete, right?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, yeah, we're going to compete. And then everyone looked at the squad and went, shit, we're losing about 10 players here. What we're going to do? We've got to go and buy. We've got to buy a squad, right? So he's gone out, he's bought shed loads of players. We've done it to compete in the Premier League. We've survived. Great. Do you know what I mean? We've done it, right? Now, if Maranakis would have gone, or the rest of the people have gone, oh, we can't do that because of all the finances and everything, we would be sitting like a Sheffield United getting hammered 5-6-0 every time. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone would have been sat there going, oh God, we've got no ambition, we've got no this. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's got to be to a point. We've all enjoyed it. Yes, we bought shed loads of players, but we needed it.
Yeah.
We needed them. Do you know what I mean? So take the 4 points, get 9 games to go. Let's go. Job done.
Right.
Absolutely right about it's acquisitions, though. You're absolutely right about buying shed load of players. If I say to you, Richards, Oddie, obviously Shelby, but Bianconi, Bowler, Ayew, and Dennis, that's 50-odd million pounds worth plus wages. It's the quality of acquisitions.
Who thought that?
That's what I'm saying. Acquisitions.
Yeah. The recruitment team.
I'm
You
just,
want to say Ventros, don't you?
say it, Bolo! Just say it!
Whoever's in charge of recruitment has struggled, to say the least.
Exactly. And this is why, when Mola said that, I looked at the second paragraph and I'm not reading it all the way because he's involved. Can't bother with it.
Well, look at it this way. Look at the recruitment at the minute. We go with January. I know this is not part of this, but January we're going to buy this. We're going to get this Reyes on loan from Dortmund, and he's supposed to be absolute awesome. How many minutes has he played? So what was the point? Do you know what I mean? So that's a waste of.
Yeah, and who spoke that?
Exactly. So it's not Maranakis.
Whose fault is it then?
Well, he don't sit there. He employs the. He's got CEOs. He's got scouts.
No, he should blame the person. No, it's Maranakis.
All right. So if you do something wrong at work, yeah, you do something wrong at work and you don't fulfill your job. You don't get. No, I know, but you don't get sacked. But your manager does for your kind of bad. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What's going to happen? Your boss is going to sack you.
100%. Right, let's go for the chat. And we've got Everton here as well. Everton here are the points which for both teams have seen in the fast score. The fans of both clubs have been punished. We have, but we broke the rules. It's simple as that. We got 4 points. Do I feel sorry for Everton? I do. On some sense, they're a good club, good fan base. But is it 777? We've messed up. I don't know if it is or not, but
no, it was the Russian. They had a Russian investor, and he got all his finances blocked when they invaded Ukraine. So that's what affected them from getting money into the club because all his assets were like Chelsea, and it got all frozen.
Okay, fair enough. But people, please do hit the like button. Please, I think I should get a like. Please, look, that's it. Hit the like button, people. If you can see it, it's there. It's there somewhere. There. Or hit the 2 likes. Will 2 likes come on? That's it. Hit the like button if you can. It helps the channel a lot.
Cutting edge graphics there, though.
Yeah, I told you, Raj. That's why you're slacking with. That's what I said to Raj. You see, do videos every day, and you get things like this. We'll do it again. Yeah, see, easy. Thank you very much. Please hit like button if you can, people. Right. Let's get back to the dirty. Because that's we're at the bottom 3. We've got 9 games to go, and let me get you, Raj, in. Can Forest stay up?
Yeah, of course we can. It's just obviously made more difficult with this deduction, but I've seen a lot of people saying that it's true. It's like all we really need to do is just get one more point than Luton. And if you look at just the next few games, like we've got obviously not easy games, but they've got like a load of big six sides all the way from home, which is not at all favourable. And they've just struggled to beat the team that's now below us. They've been on a shaky run themselves, Luton. You know, blowing that 3-goal lead was disastrous for them. So I think that's encouraging for us when you see that it's our main rival for it's been slipping up. They've got some tough games coming up. We haven't got easy games. We know what our away form is like, but we've got 2 massive home games to start off this redemption arc after the international break. And obviously Crystal Palace is none of them are easy games, but the games that we absolutely can win. You know, even Fulham, we've got not a very good record against them down the years, but it's not impossible. So I think it goes down really for me. I mean, I suppose it doesn't matter, but what kept us up last season was that togetherness and that's that fighting spirit. And I just feel we've lacked that at times this season, especially since Nuno's been in. And that's not really Nuno's fault. I think anyone would have been under pressure to replicate or get even close to what Steve Cooper did. But I just feel it's really dwindled away. And like there's this, as soon as it's gone wrong, we're all like slating the manager and maybe with good reason. But I just feel we just need to like stick together now, you know, and get results on the pitch. So, you know, if us or Luton, neither of us have got easy run-ins, but I feel all we need to do is just better their results in the next 9 games by just 1 point. And surely that's possible. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. We've got to get our form going again. We haven't really got any form all season, but, you know, it's only 1 point that we've got to catch up on, really.
Aaron, what's your opinion on Nuno? Are you a fan of him or not? What's your tell everyone?
So, I mean, in terms of results, I don't see much improvement on what happened with Cooper earlier in the season. Like, out of the 12 Premier League games he's been in charge of, you know, we've won 3, drawn 2, and lost 7, which is not really much better than what we were doing under Cooper. And kind of the performances have improved. Like we're close in a lot of games, but we're losing by the odd goal or decisions or mistake. It's kind of a case of Murphy's Law with Nuno. Anything that can go wrong has gone wrong, like whether it be late goals, VAR decisions, poor refereeing decisions. I mean, it's really kind of really hit his range so far. Like even from the very first game when Bolly got the second yellow for the cleanest tackle I've ever seen, and then Solanke scored a late goal, to what happened at Brentford, to Newcastle, obviously what Liverpool, what happened there. And so he's right in a way. He's been very, very unlucky. I can't think of a more unlucky Forest manager, but at the same time, it's a results business. And if you look at our last 9 games, we've only got 5 points from 27. Our next 9 games, if we get that points return, we're getting relegated. So we have to step up big time, and we need to just, regardless of how our performance is, we need to grind out results. Our 5 of our next 9 are against sides in the bottom half of the table, and then obviously there's the 2 tough games of City at home and Spurs away, and Wolves I think is an interesting one at home. But they're all winnable games. They're all games I'd expect us to get points out of, but it's going to come down to the effort. And I just hope that Nuno can get through to the players, and you know, that way he can instill what he wants out of them, but he needs to attack games positively. Like he's gotten very defensive the last couple of games, and I think he's actually, you know,
I can't sorry to put it, Aaron. I hate the word when people say it's Cooper tactics or Cooper whatever. Can people stop saying the word Cooper? Cooper is not our manager anymore. He's done what he's done. He's done the best. He's done the best for whatever voice I can say. I'm sick and tired of other people saying it's Cooper this, Cooper that. He's gone. He's not with us anymore. It's Nuno. So please, I'm just sick of it. But sorry, Aaron. It's annoying.
No worries, then. Yeah, I think we all still have a soft spot for Cooper, and but
it's
we all.
But everyone. It seems like when I hear it's still thinking about the way Steve Cooper plays. It's not Steve Cooper. It's like saying, Steve Cooper won the Newcastle Man U game. That's how it feels. I mean, it's very frustrating for me. But yeah, sorry, Andy.
No worries, Ben. And what's frustrating is we saw glimpses of what Nuno can do. That those two games at the end of last year, Newcastle and Manchester United back to back, they were incredible. Like, we went to St. James's Park and we tore through Newcastle. They were lucky to lose 3-1. We could have won 5 or 6-1. Like, Alanga, how he didn't score that day, and Gibbs White chances, Wood on fire. And we were kind of, after that period, looking forward to this year, but we haven't really kicked on. And I feel it is the FA Cup run did kind of mask our league form. Like, every time we would get taken to a replay or penalties, we'd lose a league game, and it masked over kind of our struggles this year so far, because our form in the Premier League since the turn of the year hasn't been good enough. And just I feel we do have the potential to play some nice football under Nuno. We've shown in games we can be competitive, attacking, and we want to see that, but we're at the stage of the season where it's only results will do. We need points on the board, get an ugly win, do a dice ball or a Nuno ball, anything, just get the results. I think that's where we're at this stage of the season. There's no more, nearlies, or it wasn't our day, or we should have got a result. We have to stop using the excuses of the officials. We have to make our own luck. And that's what I feel. I just feel he's probably one of the most unluckiest managers, I think, to ever manage us, just with everything that is going wrong is happening with him,
I don't know your styles. I don't know who it was. I think it was Stephen. When we had Steve Cooper in charge, it's always the next manager. It's going to be so difficult for the love we have for Steve Cooper and the love to get this next manager. It's so hard. And this is a bit I feel for Nuno. And as you, Dylan, do you think like it's going to be hard for Nuno to get is on his side? But we all want him to do well, but it's the win, Dylan. We're not winning games. 1 win in 14, I think it is. What's your opinion on it, Dylan?
Well, the thing is, Nuno was always he was never going to get the fans on side straight away, because there was a majority of fans who didn't want Cooper to leave, and do you know what I mean? And some would have quite happily said, "Oh, we'll go down if we've got Cooper," and stuff like that. We didn't. We've got Nuno now. Do you know what I mean? For me, I think the football is a bit better. It's better playing wise. Do you know what I mean? Everyone has their own opinion. I think it's it's turned for the last couple of games for some reason. It's gone a bit more defensive, but I think just forget about Cooper now. He's done what he's done. Thank you very much. You've left the club. You'll go on to do whatever. It's like watching in interviews where Cooper used to talking, saying stuff. Nuno's sharp. He's like, no. Wait, listen. I'm not having a go, but I'm just saying
all his interviews are the same.
Yeah, but he goes down to the point. He's like, you ask me the question, I'll answer it. Let's move on. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we've got a different manager now, so let him do what he's got to do. We'll see where the chips fall by the end of the season and get on with it. Do you know what I mean? Like we say, we've got to support. We support the club. We'll always be here. Doesn't matter who's in the dugout. At the end of the day, we just need to get behind the boys for the next 9 games and try and get us over the line, and then hopefully we can build for next year. Because if you look at teams like Brighton didn't want where they were for a good 4 years in the Premier League. They were always in the relegation scrap. So just got to get these 9 games. Let's just get it done.
Well, what's your opinion on the situation with Nuno? Are you a fan of him? Do you want him to? We need to win games. That's the thing, like Aaron said.
Yeah, I think my only worry is we have to play well to win. I don't feel like we've got the minerals to win ugly. Like in the past, I'm not talking about the last man, just generally speaking. How many games can you think of since we beat? I can think of Villa at home early in the season where we've backs to the wall won a game when we haven't really necessarily deserved to. I can think of loads last season. I can think of Villa this season. But we have to play well to win. If we don't play well, we lose, or at best we draw. I watched the game back again. We played well against Luton. We created a lot of chances. It just felt like we didn't because of the way it ended and because of those slightly. I can understand why he did it. That substitutions that kind of
Too
backfired.
early. It was too early for me, the substitutions.
Yeah, but mate, if you've got 3 centre halves on the pitch and you can leave a free header for one of their biggest players, then you know what's happening, don't you? It's your own. It's the team's fault. But anyway, I don't think we can win ugly, but I do think we'll gather enough points to get one more than Luton, because I think 30 will keep you up this year. So we need 9 points from somewhere. Is it 9? I've lost track now. I think
Yeah,
it's
9
Yeah,
points.
no.
9 points.
I think 30 will keep. And the other thing is, I don't. This could come back to bite me because I said quite early on this season how bad Luton were. I don't see Luton getting more than 5 or 6 points for the rest of the season, having watched them enough. And unfortunately, real life's come back to bite them. When you play football, you get injuries, and if you haven't, and that's the way it goes, and that's why they've got loads of players missing. But I think they are absolutely crap. They're like watching a Sunday League team launching the ball with a couple of one class player and a very athletic set of players. It's like when you go and play that team when you're a kid and they're all massive and they're all fast, and you think, oh man, it's going to be one of them days. And that isn't enough in the Premier League. It's been enough to get them up to 22 points or whatever. I can't see it getting them past 30 points. We got to, let's not forget, we've had points deducted. We got to however many points it was. We just need to get those extra 9 points with someone. It's only a point a game. 3 wins, whatever it is, and I think that'll do. And the Everton fan watching, you need to be very worried because they might end up below us on points deducted if they don't start winning as well. But I think we'll stay up. And I think Nuno, we can't judge Nuno. Some of he's dealing with a hand that isn't his own hand, isn't he, at the minute? And the hand that the previous manager struggled with. But I think we all know if we had our time again and somebody could get hold of them, 2 or 3, maybe 4 changes in the summer, not buy in another 10 players, most of whom aren't going to play. And that's it. I think we'll probably stay up, but we're not going to. I hope I'm wrong. I doubt we'll win games ugly. I doubt any games where we go, oh, we needed those 3 points, no matter how they come.
Matt, before we do go, like I said, we've got 9 games to go. I'm saying to the panel how many points that we can get from now to the end of the season as well. People in the chat, get involved. How many points do you think we can get? And do you think Forest will stay up? So, if you're in the chat, get in the comments now. How many points do you think they will get from now to the end of the season? Let me start with you. Let's start with Rads. How many points do you think that we can get? Is it 9 games that we could? Yeah. People in the chat will get involved.
Based off our form, it's probably not going to be too many unless we improve. And we've shown that we can get points, but of late it's been particularly disappointing. Lost 4 in a row, and then you draw to one of the main relegation rivals. So I'm hoping that we have a similar effect to what Everton had, and that it just completely galvanizes us, and we can actually maybe just get some consistency towards the end of the season, like we did at the end of last year, where we, for once, were actually playing consistently well. Which was great. If we can get anything like that, then that's good. We ideally want to try and avoid having that. If we're just going to keep being in relegation battles, having to just wait until the end of the season to actually start playing well. But, I do probably agree with some of the things in the comments. I think maybe 9 or 10 points. If you look at the fixtures, you've got Crystal Palace, you've got particularly Sheffield United and Burnley. I know we seem to be a bit unable to win games away from home, but they're probably the 2 most winnable games, which is a terrible phrase to use, really. But compared to everyone else, they're definitely the games that we should be winning. And I don't think we can write off the likes of being Fulham and Wolves or even Chelsea, but they're probably a bit harder than someone like Palace. And then I think we can probably say that City and Spurs are most likely going to be losses, or we're not going to win them. So I'd say maybe like 9 points or something like that. Because like we've already said, I don't think it's going to take many points this season. It probably will be quite a low margin to stay up. I just think the bottom of the Premier League compared to last year is just so much weaker. So, which is a bit of a concern for us if we do stay up. If you look at the teams that are going to come up, I think next season it's going to go back to being really strong at the bottom again. So that's another topic, obviously, but I do feel it's not going to take too many points for anyone to stay up this season, to be honest.
Okay. Next, Dylan, how many points do you think they will get?
I'm like, well, it's like Rad said, going off the last 9. We've only got, was it 5 out of the last 9 or something like that? Do you know what I mean? So it's hard. You've just got to hope now. Like, we've got an international break. How many times have we seen teams awful before an international break, and then all of a sudden switch it round after an international break? Do you know what I mean? You've got to hope something like that's going to happen. Maybe getting the decision now is lifted a bit. I know. We shouldn't say it, but it affects the players, doesn't it? So maybe now they're sitting in a room when they come back and they go, right, we've got this to do. Let's roll our sleeves up and let's crack on with this. Do you know what I mean? So me personally, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 12 points from now, just because I'm just thinking
that wins against Man City, Spurs, Chelsea.
But what I'm trying to say is, I don't know where they're going to come from. But it's like Rad said, like playing Burnley and Sheffield United. Oh yeah, we should win them. But by the time we play them, they could be dead and buried. Do you know what I mean? Sheffield United, definitely. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's going to be a dangerous team to play. A team that hasn't got anything to play for, they're not bothered. Burnley won at the weekend. Did they win or did they draw?
Yeah,
I can't remember. So they're kind of smelling a bit of blood. We've got the likes of Brentford coming into the mix. We've still got Everton. So we're all talking about, as long as we can get 1 point more than Luton. Hold on a minute. Do you know what I mean? You've still got Everton on their appeal. Brentford are not doing great. If I remember this time last season, around about April, because I remember being in Butlins and I was with a Leeds fan, and we just played Leeds and they battered us. If I remember rightly, the beat us, and he was going, we're going to stay.
Yeah,
you're going down and all this.
You are.
And then all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? They got relegated. So it's going to be very hard. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say 12 points.
Wow. Okay. KC, Marlo, what's yours?
I'm gonna say 10 points, 3 wins and a draw somewhere. Because that's what we need. And I think we've got a massive part to play. We need to get that intimidating atmosphere back. And I think Dylan's absolutely spot on. The players now know what they need to do. The fans know what we need to do. We've got a little bit of a sense of injustice that we want to, So the atmosphere against Palace needs to be absolutely rocking from before the kickoff until the final whistle. Even if let's say we give away our traditional either dodgy decision or dodgy defensive mistake, but it's got to be rocking all game behind the lads, just like we were last season and occasionally this season. Not just for the first 10, 15 minutes, then it dies off and everyone it's like a murmur around the ground, isn't it, when we haven't scored? I think 10 points. I think if we do get 10, that'll be enough. That's 10 points in 9 games. It's not asking for like championship form or anything, is it? It's enough to keep us going. But the only joker in the pack is, I don't know this, if Chris Wood and Taiwo are injured, that becomes a little bit harder as well. Or even
very
harder.
hard. Yeah, very hard.
Hopefully it's not.
Last one, Aaron. Last but not least, come on. Can we get more points than these lot? Come on.
Yeah, I'd say the bracket would be between realistically 9 and 11 points, just based on current form. Like, we're capable of winning all 9 of them. It's football. I will be optimistic.
I like this guy.
27 points. Yes.
I need a bit more Aaron in our life.
I'm about to say exactly the same. 27 points. See? Why can't Aaron be like Aaron? Aaron, I'm sure every day. Come on, man.
Yeah. Like, we have to attack each game as if we need to win every game 3 points, and that's the way we should approach each game. Not like we did against Brighton, resting key players on the bench when they were there for us. Every game now from now on is a chance to win, whether it's City or whether it's Sheffield United at the bottom. There's 3 points to play for, and our attitude has to be not aim for 12, aim for 27, and you'll come out with more points at the end if you approach a game that way. Like, we won't stay up by being cautious. We have to attack games, and they're big games, even at the bottom. As they mentioned, Burnley are in a bit of form. Sheffield United might have nothing to lose. Palace are down in the mix. Everton away is coming up as well. So we've some pretty big 6-pointers, if not relegation battles down there. So we have to make sure that we don't lose those ones, and also that we have enough to overcome some of the challenges at home. Like we've Chelsea, Wolves, and Fulham at home as well. So their games you look at and say, well, potentially we've a chance of getting something out of it. And Spurs can be a bit hit and miss away. And Man City, like we got a point against them last season. So, and they do lose every so often. So it just depends how we approach the game. We'll obviously need a lot more luck than we've had during Nuno's reign so far. But I think it comes down to us, and we have to attack each game and say there's points on offer in each game. And if we do that between now and the end of the season, starting with Palace, as Malo said, it was a big game last season for us. I'm going over to watch it with a lot of Irish Reds, and we won that one last season, but it was a big effort, and it really got us going for the second part of the season after the World Cup. So if we win against Palace, that will really get us on our way following this decision today. So yeah, I say we have to attack each game. Realistically, I'm expecting probably 11 points return, but we should be aiming for 27.
I'm loving it. Attack the corner.
27.
I'm saying 27 points. Forget this. I don't care what anyone says. I'm saying 27 points.
Just another fact as well is I think that these next 9 games, the players might start turning up, because you've got to think as a player, they're going to look at it, think, right, well, if Forest go down, I don't want to be here. But who's going to buy me? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be in the shop window. Do you know what I mean? So they could potentially be playing for their future of where they're going to play. Forest stay up, I stay. But I could be going, like you've got like the likes of Gibbs White. Do you know what I mean? Someone's got to pay 40 million for it. Do you know what I mean? Forest ain't going to take a loss on that, so he's going to want to play well. Tangara, he's not going to want to stay. Do you know what I mean? If that happens, you've got Elanga, you've got Hudson-Odoi, you've got all these top players. So I think that using their ambition for our ambition, I think could work well for us in these next 9 games.
You know what though? You know what you said about playing for their futures. I think, and people underestimate how many players, and I know for a fact there's quite a few of ours, they're also playing for the future of some of the staff there, not just the coaching staff, but
yeah.
And the players care. The players do care. They don't want to see, Beryl the tea lady lose a job because they weren't able to start there. Be clear about that. The players don't want to see anyone lose their job just because they're, multimillionaires or whatever and safe. They know the score. They know the score that, the kit man of the bonus kit man they get and everything in the Premier League. They're not going to get that and all the people attached to the media side. They won't be working for Forest if we go down, or not. Some of them will, but people lose their jobs. It's a huge.
I think when they got into the Premier League, it created 20 to 30 more jobs.
Minimum.
You know what I mean? Minimum. So it's probably. I'm putting a figure out, but do you know what I mean? But
I think
like Marlowe,
Nick Randall said it is people that he walks past him and he doesn't even know he worked there. So there's quite a lot.
Yeah, but Nick Randall said as well we was in with the PSR. So
we were at the time.
Yeah, okay, you got me. Okay. Right, people. I think we'll let go of that. It's been a great show. Thank you everyone for coming on. Thank you for everyone in the chat as well, for all the comments as well. Last but not least, before we do go, can we stay up? In the chat, yes or no, can Forest stay up? Milo, can Forest stay up, yes or no?
Yes.
Dylan?
100% yes.
Maybe. Yes, I'm going yes. Yes. Yeah, well, I'm more. You'd asked me yesterday, I'd have said probably not. But now I know the decision of the 4 points, we can work with it. So I'll say yes.
Rad?
Yes.
Aaron?
Of course we can.
That's it. I like it. Full house. I say yes as well. But we need to win. We've got to be better on the pitch. So we've got a week off. 2 weeks off now. So we can do it. Right. It's been a great show. Thank you everyone for taking part. And as well, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And as well, me and Raz, again, I'm going at you. Make some videos, please, if you can.
I've recorded it. It's in the works. Don't worry.
It's in the works. So if
Yeah.
you can, people, subscribe to Rants. Aaron, first time making his debut as well. The Harry Arthur, Aaron, I forgive you for saying that. Okay? I forgive you. It's your
Thanks,
debut. A bit of a cock up, but it's fine. Don't mention that word again because he has the
What if
best
it's
debut.
Harry Arthur and Stoke?
Oh, and stuck. Yes. Okay.
Or Chris
You
Hutton.
look at Yes. Did you say Chris Hutton? Did you say Chris Hutton?
Yeah, just don't say that.
Yeah.
Oh, you said right. You said, come on, man. You're
Yeah,
better than that.
sorry for swearing.
Do you know what? You got to thank him. You got to thank him, really, Chris Hutton, because if he wanted as dire as he was, we wouldn't have got Steve Cooper, and we would have got promoted.
Dylan,
One way of
what's
looking
my-
at it.
what Dylan? What's
There's always a silver lining.
Skip his entire tenure, and yes, I agree.
Right, it's been a pleasure, people. Let's say thank you for watching the channel. I'll be back with some more videos because we've got 2 weeks off, so watch out for that. I might go live tomorrow again with a different panel to talk about Forest. So if you watch out for that, it'll be early this time, 8 o'clock. So watch out for that. Right, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for everyone. Please hit the like button if you do, and if you all be watching it, anything that you agreed, disagreed, get the comments. Dylan will be back for the next 6 months, back on the buses. So Dylan's giving freebies on the bus, so watch out for that. Sorry, Dylan. Might get you in trouble for that. But yeah, thank you everyone. Subscribe. And I'll see you soon.